The 206th annual Jefferson County Fair is back in full force. We check in on opening day at the fairgrounds, plus breaking ground on the city's of Watertown's nearly $4 million Northside Flynn Pool restoration project. But first, a student at St. Lawrence University may sue their sorority after being kicked out over being binary. Good evening, thank you for joining us. I'm Zach Grady. Garrett Domblewski is off tonight. We start on the St. Lawrence University campus, where a student is challenging a decision made by a national sorority, kicking them out due to their gender assigned at birth. 7 News reporter Sean Brinda with the details.
Fabian Guzman identifies themselves as non-binary and last year became a member of the Chi Omega sorority at St. Lawrence University and quickly rose in the ranks, becoming the recruitment chairperson. According to Guzman, issues started after St. Lawrence University's alumni magazine approached the sorority headquarters to write a story about Guzman's leadership.
And then on June 2nd of this year, Chi Omega Nationals, the CEO, sent me an email saying that they were going to void my membership with no right to appeal just because of a matter of policy.
Guzman claims the policy that voided their membership was discriminatory in nature due to it targeting their sex assigned at birth.
Later on, it came up to be about something that it was not about gender identity, but sex assigned at birth, which is not in anywhere stated in the policy that they present either to the public or to the chapters individually. So this is just becoming more an attack on sex assigned at birth rather than gender identity, when these organizations are just supposed to be gender-based.
Guzman's sorority sister, Kelly Cushman, says what's happening is upsetting not only to local sorority members, but other Chi Omega sisters across the country.
I think that it's a lot of ignorance and stigma that caused nationals to, they were so panicked in their response.
In a statement to the New York Post, Chi Omega National said, quote, "By their own admission, this individual did not meet the criteria for membership at the time of joining." St. Lawrence University issued a statement to 7 News saying it supports the identity of every student and its student life team will help students grappling with issues of inclusion and belonging. Guzman says they hope the issue resolves and that it brings a larger conversation to the table regarding Greek life as a whole. Sean Brinda, 7 News.
25-year-old Rafael Rondon was sentenced to 14 months in prison Tuesday for having an unregistered shot-off shotgun. Last December, Rondon admitted possessing the shotgun was his and hidden on a relative's property in Lewis County. Also in December, Rondon pleaded guilty to a felony count of obstructing an official proceeding for his activities inside the U.S. Capitol on January 6, 2021. His sentencing on that charge is scheduled for September. Rondon could face up to 20 years in prison and a $250,000 fine for his role on January 6th. His mother, Marianne Mooney Rondon, was found guilty at that trial of the same charge. She is scheduled for a sentencing hearing in August. Violence continues behind the walls of Governor Correctional. The prison staff union says 5 inmate fights have happened at the facility in the past 5 weeks. 2 inmates have been treated at the hospital, while several others suffered from cuts served from makeshift weapons. A union spokesperson says this sort of violence at a medium security prison did not used to happen, but now the inmate population is similar to that at a maximum security prison. The union points out that 2 of the inmates involved at the fights at Governor are serving life sentences for murder. Park Drive and Park Circle will be closed Wednesday from State Street to Thompson Boulevard. Crews from the City of Watertown's Department of Public Works will begin paving Wednesday, starting at 7 a.m. Motorists are encouraged to use alternate routes during construction. Work is expected to be completed, though, by the end of the day on Wednesday. We'll head down to the Weather Center. John, are they going to have dry skies for their work tomorrow?
I think tomorrow's going to be dry, Zach, as a matter of fact. A couple of showers showing up on the Doppler radar. Not a whole lot of rain. And we didn't all see the rain. All right, let's check those maps. First weather, of course, brought to you by Doors Plus in Adams Center. Notice up along the river earlier this evening, a little bit of rain shower activity passing on by, and also portions of Lewis County and over the Adirondacks, a couple of potentially heavier downpours, widely scattered. And all this activity moving on out of here. Partly cloudy at midnight, 70 degrees by 6 a.m., mid-60s and some passing clouds. And I think we'll have more clouds than sun tomorrow. Lower humidity and lower temperatures as well. Will be around 73 by the noontime hour. It looks like the next couple of days will ramp up that risk of rain, so enjoy tomorrow. We'll talk more about that the weekend too in a bit. Back to you.
Thank you, John. Devices known as skimmers have been found at Walmart stores near Syracuse and Oswego. You check out, swipe your card, leaving not knowing that on the other end of that credit card machine are criminals who now possess your account information. 7 News reporter Brendan Straub tells us tonight ways to protect yourself from these skimming devices.
Watch closely, and you'll see the man at the register put a credit card reading device over the Walmart credit card reader in Oswego. Police say the same trio did the same thing at Walmarts in Camillus and Auburn. In all, 8 Walmarts have been hit. It's called skimming, where criminals want your account information. General store owner Anthony Daldo knows it well. One of his Watertown gas pumps skimmed in 2017. 2 men charged with taking thousands of dollars.
Since that point, we have moved on. We've bought new dispensers. They were around $20,000 a piece. But if somebody gets into the dispenser now, it actually shuts the pump down, so we know that there's an issue.
But how do you protect yourself? Steve Ferenczi with Higher Standards, a local credit card processing company, says card companies have upgraded their technology.
They've gone over to the chip card. It's called EMV technology. And by going to the chip card, it's much more secure. Can they still get the chip card and get information? They can, but it's much more difficult.
Consumer protection experts advise customers to check the credit card machine for an overlay device. Use mobile wallets like Apple Pay through your cell phone and review your statements often. Federal law protects consumers from liability for more than $50 that result from loss or stolen card information. Brendan Straub, 7 News.
Members of the Goose Bay Reclamation Corporation are paying to take care of a problem growing in the bay. 7 News reporter Lexi Bruning tells us tonight the grant money, though, has run out, forcing them to fundraise to fight the invasive species.
It's nestled beside the St. Lawrence River in the town of Alexandria. This is Goose Bay.
It's a premier place for water skiing, fishing.
But some of the bay is brimming with an invasive species called the Eurasian water milfoil.
In 2009, they came and looked at our bay and they said, if you don't start doing something, your bay will be non-existent in 5 years.
Almost 15 years later, the bay is still afloat, thanks to the members of the Goose Bay Reclamation Corporation. Through grants and fundraising, the nonprofit has been able to do 4 different herbicide treatments and has purchased a harvester for the town to use. The grants have run out, but the growth is ongoing.
We're never going to totally be able to eradicate it. It's going to be an ongoing.
There are 3 different ways to mitigate the growth of the milfoils: using a harvester, herbicides, or another avenue the nonprofit is currently looking at: weevils.
Weevils are a small insect, almost like a flea, but they're natural to the aquatic environment. What we understand, one weevil can eat 2 stems of milfoil over the course of a season.
Aside from mitigation, the group also focuses on education.
We also try to teach people that when they get to the opening of Goose Bay, slow down a little bit, back off on their prop, get the weeds off, so as they go out to the river, they're not carrying the weeds out to the river.
Hoping to raise $3,000, a golf tournament will be held Saturday at LA Golf Club in Lafargeville. Lexi Bruning, 7 News.
Still to come tonight, Mel Busler is in the building with your North Country Sports Report.
Hey, Zach, second round play at the City Golf Tournament. We'll give you the results in sports.
Plus, the Jefferson County Fair kicks off for its 206th showing, and shovels go into the ground on the north side of the city when 7 News continues.
From the North Country's news station, you're watching 7 News Tonight with Garrett Dumbluski. Tonight's weather with John Kubis. And your North Country sports with Mel Busler.
Your winning lotto numbers for Tuesday: the evening daily numbers 990 and the win 4 6818. Summertime in the city of Watertown signals the 206th showing for the Jefferson County Fair. 7 News reporter Chad Charette made his way to the fairgrounds for the fun, the family, and the funnel cake.
Probably one of our easier openings that we've had. You know, some years we have a lot of loose ends, but this year everything's going fantastic.
It's opening day of the 206th Jefferson County Fair. For a lot of folks, fair season is all about the food. That means sausages, franks, and of course, funnel cakes are all on the menu.
The food.
That was Sandy Vavia. 2023 marks the first time she and her husband Francis have visited the fair in 50 years. Their biggest surprise? Free admission.
We just felt like we wanted to come and see because, like I say, 50 years is a long time. So, other than that, I'm going to eat my funnel cakes.
And for foodies, this year's fair has brought in at least one newcomer, Corner Barbecue Grill.
I think it's neat. I mean, it's a free gate. I've never done a free gate fair. The Midway looks good. The people here are nice. So we'll see what happens.
Once the rides opened up around 1 p.m., the Midway filled up fast with thrill seekers, along with folks taking a chance on carnival games. This year's opening day also happened to fall on Cow Appreciation Day.
We appreciate our cows every day.
Celebrating their bovine buddies, some folks took part in a cow clipping contest. Others simply scrubbed their cows clean. Dayton Shomani spent his day taking care of Addie.
She's a March calf. She's my little brother. He's gonna show her.
Now, one thing you may have noticed is a lack of ticketing booth for rides. That's because they've been completely replaced by these automatic ticketing machines due to staffing shortages. There's 8 of them instead of the usual 2 ticket booths, so we're told the process of getting tickets is actually supposed to go a lot faster this year. Chad Charette, 7 News.
Also at the Jefferson County Fair, the Sheriff's Office invites you to cover the Cruiser. If you head inside the Fairgrounds Arena, you'll find a booth for the Jefferson County Sheriff's Office, as well as a patrol car. The Cruiser is there to raise funds for the Special Olympics of New York. People can donate $2 to $10 for a decal and then stick it on the patrol car.
If they donate the money, they get to take this and they get to tape it to the Cruiser wherever they want. And our hope is that by the end of the week, that thing will be covered and you won't be able to tell there's a patrol car underneath it.
The money goes to athletes across the state so they can compete and train for the Special Olympics. Watertown's North Side Pool project is underway. The redo of Flynn Pool has been met with excitement, support, and criticism of its close to $4 million expense. 7 News reporter Sandy Torres takes us to the groundbreaking.
Breaking ground on the William J. Flynn Pool project. Both Watertown City Council members and the public were in attendance Tuesday for the first step to make the North Side Pool new again. Also in attendance, the family of William J. Flynn.
I think that this is just a great opportunity for the North Side to show off again, to be able to have a place for all the school kids on the North Side, and actually the whole city.
A majority of city council were on hand. Mayor Jeff Smith did not attend. In a recent city council meeting, the mayor said there was a scheduling conflict, but did not want to force the city to reschedule. The close to $4 million project looks to create an L-shaped pool, as well as restore the bathhouse. The project will also add a splash pad.
We lived on the North Side here. I grew up on Cooper Street. And we used the pool here on the North Side on multiple occasions. There used to be, see people walking down the street, trekking all the way over here every summer.
Flynn Pool closed in 2020. Current council members Patrick Hickey, Cliff Olney, and Lisa Ruggiero have led the charge for the return of the North Side staple.
I see this as it's a part of history. It's the next chapter of what's happening on the North Side. There's a long tradition of there being a pool here on the North Side, over 100 years, to be exact. So I think it's nice to see that tradition will continue, and obviously a lot of people here support it.
Councilmember Sarah Campo-Pierce has been critical of the project's costs, but says she has always been supportive of a recreational asset needed on the North Side. The city hopes to have the pool open for the 2024 swimming season. Sandy Torres, 7 News.
John Kubis is in the Weather Center with your full forecast when we come back on 7 News Tonight.
Now, tonight's weather.
A couple of clouds out there, a couple of showers earlier this evening on the radar. We'll check that radar here in a moment. First off, let's go over the numbers out of the airport. Mild, 73 degrees, courtesy of the clouds, and that southwesterly wind at about 6. A bit muggy out there, dew points in the middle 60s. Pressure, 2984, was lower earlier this evening. It's climbed a bit over the last hour or two. 64 the low, 83 the high. As far as the averages, we're off. A couple on both ends. Records 90 set back in 2011 was a chilly one in 2002. We got down to 41 degrees. 71 for you, Messina, mid-60s Old Forge, and also in Lowville. 70 in Barnes Corners. 72 at Fort Drum, and the same reading across the border for our friends in Kingston. Notice earlier this evening, a couple of showers passing on by up towards Ogdensburg and Waddington and Messina as well. Maybe one lone leftover rain shower up along the river, but for the most part, things are dry. And that should be the case pretty much all night long. The reason for the showers, a cold front, and earlier this evening, they looked healthier, the rain showers and thunderstorms. Now, not so much. We lost the heating from the sun, and we lost most of the lift in the atmosphere. As far as the overnight, notice we keep it quiet, a couple of passing clouds. There might be a shower, but I think for the most part, we're in the clear, so to speak. 8:30 in the morning on your Wednesday, not too much going on. Temperatures middle to upper 60s to around 70. During the day tomorrow, I think we'll call it partly sunny. I think we'll see a couple of extra clouds, a lower humidity courtesy of a more of a westerly wind, and temperatures held back a bit from today. I think we'll top out in the middle to upper 70s. Your overnight lows, lower to mid 60s, some clouds, maybe a shower, but I think we're pretty much safe on that end. Tomorrow looking partly sunny, highs, middle to upper 70s. In Lewis County overnight, maybe a shower, but we'll call it cloudy. Your lows around 60 tomorrow. Looking less humid than today, partly sunny, highs in the 70s. St. Lawrence County overnight, clouds, maybe a leftover shower, otherwise lows, lower 60s. Tomorrow looking partly sunny and less humid. Highs in the mid to upper 70s to near 80. Running the risk of showers on Thursday. I think it will rain in the morning and then potentially in the afternoon, maybe some thunderstorms as well, highs around 80. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, the risk of rain. It will be warm, it will be kind of muggy. So we will be dealing with the risk of some pop-up showers and storms, and we'll keep that trend going next Monday and next Tuesday as well. Coming up next, Mel has sports. Stay tuned.
Now your North Country Sports.
Time for your Toyota Sports Report. The Watertown City Men's Golf Championship continuing at Thompson Park Golf Course with second round action. 4 championship flight matches being played today. In the first match of the day, 8-time city champion John Buffalini taking on up-and-coming golfer Marcus Emerson. Buffalini sinks the long putt to go 1-up on Emerson. On the next hole, Emerson drains this putt to even the match. Buffalini goes on to win 2 and 1. 14-time city champion Bob Hughes teeing off here, facing former Jefferson golfer Nate Heller. Heller's second shot is close enough to the pin to take the first hole of this matchup. At the next hole, Hughes sinks this putt to have the hole with Heller. Heller goes on to beat Hughes 1-up in a playoff. Couple of late tee times. Michael Burgess here taking on Connor Gray. Burgess beats Gray 3 and 2. And Mitchell Scoville teeing off here, taking on last year's finalist Matt Barton. Barton moves on by winning 1-up. Tonight's Watertown Rapid scoreboard brought to you by Coleman's Corner, located behind Fairground Inn, across from Watertown Arena. Coleman's Corner offers traditional Irish fare along with gourmet sandwiches, burgers, steaks, and seafood. Enjoy your favorite beverage for great food. It's Coleman's Corner. Perfect game Collegiate League baseball action tonight. They played a doubleheader in Oneonta, making up a game along the way. Rapids beat the Outlaws in game 1 by a score of 6-5. That stopped a 9-game losing streak for Watertown. The home team, though, would bounce back in the nightcap, defeating the Rapids by a score of 12-1. Well, it's time for your weekly Can-Am Speedway report. The Nasty Track of the North back in action this Friday night. It will be ladies' night at Can-Am. Gates open at 5 o'clock. Racing begins at 7. Checking results from this past Friday night, 358 modified feature. Lance Willix took home the checkered flag. He was followed by Tim Fuller, Billy Dunn, Sean Shaw, and Preston Forbes. Sportsman feature Mike Fowler finished first, followed by Tyler Corcoran, Eric Nyer, Gavin Isley, and Jessica Power. Pro Stock feature the order of finish Dakota Sharp, Tyler Bushy, Pete Stefanski, Eli Gilbert, and Kenneth Hartshorn Jr. Crate Sprint Car feature Josh Verne Jr. led the pack, followed by Tiger Chapman, Bruno Richard, Tucker Donath, also Andrew Hennessy. Thundercar feature Justin Pope finished first, followed by Francis White, Steve Smith, Jared Gilson, and Anthony St. Mary Jr. And in the limited sportsman, the order of finish, Keegan Nyer, Dylan Moore, Joey Wilcox, Brady Howard, and Genevieve Bartlett. The Dirt Modified Museum and Hall of Fame will hold its induction ceremony this coming Thursday night at Wheatsport. Two outstanding drivers who have raced at Can-Am Speedway over the many years are part of the induction class. Tim Fuller started racing in a pure stock in 1988. He quickly moved to 358 and big block modifieds. In 2004, he captured the then big race at Super Dirt Week, Eckerd 200. The following year, he won the Super Dirt Car Series Big Block Modified title. Overall, he's collected 32 victories in the Super Dirt Car Series and another 14 in the Dirt Car 358 Modified Series. The induction in the Northeast Dirt Hall of Fame, a camper on a great career.
It's quite an accomplishment, I guess, considering the guys that are in the Hall of Fame. It took 30 years of doing this, grinding it out, and obviously we did good enough to get in there. The people that are in there, they're your heroes from being a kid, and to be able to be thrown into that cast, I guess is pretty important.
Also headed in this year, the Pocket Rocket, Danny O'Brien of Kingston, Ontario. This talented driver has 225 career wins total at 11 different tracks in 2 countries. He's approaching his 100th career win at Brockville. A crowd favorite at every track he's raced at, Danny O'Brien comes from a racing family. His father, Pat, raced at the old Watertown and Kingston Speedways. His brother, Pat Jr., also a talented driver. Danny's career recognized as a Hall of Fame one.
It's quite an honor. You spend your whole career racing along and don't really keep track of statistics as well as you should. And then you get that call that you're going in with some of the greatest dirt racers around. So I'm honored and very privileged to go in there.
2 deserving drivers. The Hall of Fame induction is this Thursday night at Wheatsport. It's the Midsummer's Night's Classic tonight in Seattle. Major League Baseball All-Star Game. Was an exciting contest. This game has just ended over on Fox with the National League beating the American League by a score of 3-2. The game featured some outstanding plays along with a couple of homers. It was 11 years since the National League last won the All-Star Game. Well, guess what? That streak has ended. National League over the American League, 3-2. Baseball Commissioner Rob Manfred has no intention of altering Pete Rose's lifetime ban from baseball and said the sport's commercial deals with gambling companies have no impact on the status of the career hits leader. Rose agreed to a lifetime ban in 1989 after an investigation found that he had bet on his team. Well, that's it for now. We're going to stop, pay some bills. Zach Grady will wrap things up.
For Mel, John, and myself, this has been 7 News Tonight. Mackenzie, Beth, and Emily are back in about 6 hours with 7 News this morning.